So for the first one, because the degree is 5, that's why we say quintic, and there's 3 terms, so it's a trinomial. So for the second one, when you look at all of these options, you first want to see what the intercepts are. So for example, for the first one, if you set each parenthesis set, x plus 4 equal to 0, x plus 1 equal to 0, and x minus 2 equal to 0, the intercepts for that one would be -4, -1, and 2. Now this graph does have an intercept at -4 and at 2 and at -1. On our sheet, some of it got cut off. So all of those work. However, because of this negative, if you put in your calculator number 1, it wouldn't look like this image. The graph is going up over here, and if the negative was in front, the graph would be going down. So that's why it couldn't be A. For the second one, you know that the second one, B, is out, because for B, right off the bat, if you set x minus 4 equal to 0 and solve, you get x equals 4, and there is no x-intercept at x is 4, so that right off the bat you know B is out, and so on and so forth. Therefore, D has to be the answer. When you set each of these values inside equal to 0 and solve, those are the intercepts over here, and the end behavior is also correct, which you can see in your graphing calculator. Now for this next one, I would put this in my graphing calculator. I would put everything in my graphing calculator, but when you look at this, you know that the leading coefficient, -2, because leading coefficient's -2, we lead on the right side, and since it's negative, the arrow's down, and the degree is 3, and since it's odd, the arrows are off balance, meaning the other side's up. Then you fill out the notation. So x approaching positive infinity means as we look on the right, and on the right our graph is going down, that's why this is negative infinity. As x approaches positive infinity, as x approaches negative infinity means when we look to the left, so on the left-hand side, our arrow is going up. That's why f of x is positive infinity, leaving your answer as B. So for this next one, you first set x equal to all of these values, because roots, zeros, x-intercepts, all the same. So I set x is 5, x is -4, x equals 1. That means it touches the x-axis at these spots. Now we're working backwards. So if these are the x-intercepts, then the factors are when we move the the number by the x. So we subtract 5, so we get x minus 5, we add 4, and we subtract 1. So we have our 3 parenthesis sets, our factors. Next up, multiply 2 parenthesis sets first. So if I multiply my left pair, x minus 5 times x plus 4, when I distribute that, right, x squared plus 4x minus 5x minus 20, when we simplify, we get x squared minus x minus 20, and then we multiply that expression by x minus 1, which you can see I did over here. Once you multiply and simplify, we get an equation, y equals x cubed minus 2x squared, right? Negative x squared is negative 2x squared, minus 19x, negative 20 plus 1, negative 19, and 20. So when I look at this last one, I also put this expression in my calculator as y equals. And if I know all of these are possible factors, then the possible places it touches the x-axis would be where I set my factor equal to 0. So at -5, at -20, at 24, and at 5. So I had to say to myself, does it touch at -5? Nope, so it's out. Doesn't touch at -20, doesn't touch at 24. It touches at 5, therefore the factor x minus 5 is the factor.